Corner analysis of super Pershing gameplay on Sacred Valley. So as you can see, we're on our way right here. The teams, we look to not have quite as good a team as the other one, if you put any stock into that 31%. Taking a look at how the teams are deploying, or our team anyway, you see we have a crowd headed up to the hill over here, and we have another fairly decent group of our tier 8s headed up to the northwest where the main battle typically happens. I've got the Mutant 6 with me, an IS-3, a T-25-2. We'll eventually have an 8.8, a couple of them and a T-44 head up this way. Pretty standard route. We've got an EZ-8 and a T-37. They're going to cut through the middle right there, maybe get some lights and see what's going on. And we're going to go up here and slug it out in the northwest. Looking at the teams, they've got one more heavy than we do, although the Super Pershing and the Mutant have excellent front armor. Little bump into the T-25-2 there as I head into the battle. I'm not sure what those two are doing. They get rubbing on each other, so to speak. So we've got the T-37 and the EZ-8. They haven't seen anything up into the middle until they get there. So the other team has not taken that middle area. That's good. And there doesn't seem to be anyone over here, at least at the moment. The southeast is engaged. Looks to be fairly even right now. So I would assume at this point, based on what I'm seeing and did at the time, that both teams had about an even amount of vehicles at each place. So I'm seeing a big stack up right here. Now the good news is they're afraid of those two small tanks, the EZ-8 and the 37. And they may not necessarily be afraid of them, but they don't want to give them the side shots. And they're not interested in pushing up there for some reason, because they don't want to take side shots from these other guys. But their best move would have been just to push up into us, because you're going to see as we now get in here that we've now taken this corner and we've stacked them all up. There doesn't appear to be anybody threatening us from the backside, and had they even sent one or two tanks, that could have really changed things right here. And we've got our guys hold down, hugging corners, that kind of thing here. So now you're going to see what happens. I'm going to have a bit of an issue trying to get through these guys. I'm really hoping they get out of my way. And I make a huge mistake here. I get this guy killed. I tried not to clip him. I ended up doing it. I wanted to get through and get a shot, and I believe I was actually, let's see what I was doing with my view. I just kind of went by him. What I didn't realize at the time is that I'm going to get him killed right there. So bad on me by running into him. Bad on him for having an EZ-8 kind of hanging out right here. Now this isn't my corner. I don't own it. So it's my fault for getting that guy killed. But I really wish he'd have got out of the way, because that EZ-8 with the derp, had he kind of hung out on my right side, he could have really got some great shots of opportunity instead of trying to clog up the works. You can see we've got the guys back here, and now I'm going to start working on this corner. So I'll show you what I'm doing with my view. I'm kind of looking around, waiting for that time that I reload and take a hit. That guy actually pins me on that one. I do get a shot. And now I'm going to work the outside tank. Right now it's the Ferdinand. I'm going to come in here as I reload. I'm going to go after that lower plate. That's the weak side. Now there does appear at this point to be someone behind us. At least there's a Hellcat moving that way. So the T-37 is going to turn around. And I'm going to keep working on this Ferdinand. Now the good news is I appear to be have him out of sync with his reload. So when I'm poking out, he doesn't have his reload. He's shooting at other guys. And Swedish EOD here is working on him as well. He's the furthest guy on the right, so he's going to take all the shots as we then cover ourselves from the rest of their team by using that piece of rock right there of the hill. And then you got the IS-3 is also able to hit him over there. So we've really got them in a bit of a bind here. T-44 is hanging out back there. 8.8 moving up. T-37 I think is headed towards the Hellcat. If you look down in the southeast, you can see that that part of the team is starting to lose that battle, and you'll see the red team then move into the north as things get a little dicey for us. I'll show you what I'm looking at when I do this. I'm waiting for my reload. You can see the reload's coming. I'm not poking out. I'm not quite reloaded, so I'm not going to poke out until I get that thing reloaded. And just as it's reloaded, I'm going to go out, take that shot, and get back. Rinse and repeat. Ferdinand dies. That's good. Okay, so now it's a little more dangerous. We've got to get there and start working around that corner where we now have a couple of them, three maybe, of their tanks were able to hit us. The Hellcat's still in the back. There's nobody threatening us from behind, except for the IS-3, which has left and come back around to that middle road. The good news is our 8.8 has seen it, and he's now stuffing him over there. So now I'm going to start working on the lower plate of the 8.8. I get fortunate by pinning the top part. Swedish just got hit by our own tank. The T-25/2 has just shot him in the back of the turret. When you stack up echelon like this and start working corners, when you are the outside tank, you have got to be very careful that you don't shoot the guys in front of you. If somebody is in front of you and you shoot them, that is 100% your fault. It may be difficult to avoid, but that's one of the things you've got to do. Your job back there is to not shoot your own tanks. Okay, so I'm going to come around. Now I see that the AC-46 is now the outside tank, and we're going to start working on him. Additionally, Swedish and I are trying to work this corner in echelon. I wish he'd have given me just a little more room there. We do okay, but this is an opportunity here where you can really start to get in each other's way. One of the worst things to do is if somehow I clip his back track right there and stop him from reversing. The other thing is then getting in each other's way of shots. And now I will start to time his shots. I'm waiting for him to shoot. I'm waiting to reload, and he's doing the same thing with me. I'm going to come around and shoot, and then I'm going to get out of his way. I'm going to reload. I'm not going to pull out until he shoots. There he goes, and now I'm going to come in. And I make a mistake there, not to mention hitting V. I actually came up on this little piece of rock right here, and my hull lifted up such that my depression wasn't enough, and I actually ended up shooting the Tiger in the turret instead of down below on his track like I wanted to. So there's a wasted shot just from bad positioning. Now, so you can see that Swedish right there is kind of trying to move his angle at his hull at a better angle. He doesn't want to go out sideways and get his tracks hit, his front drive wheel. So he's trying to work it as best he can. Now I adjust mine as well. Show you what I'm looking at. We're going to come around here. He gets killed, and now I'm going to push. The next thing I end up seeing is I'm looking at this. Is I will get a shot on the AC-46. Just snap that off. Going to go in here and help him kill this guy if they need it. They don't. All right, so I was pretty fixated on this fight. We end up winning this fight, and it's at this point now that I'm starting to look around what's going on. And I wish I'd have done that a little bit earlier because I'd have noticed, holy cow, the southeast has completely fallen, and now they're pushing up around behind us. The issue here then is I have two decisions, two choices, actually three. I can follow my teammates around this way, or I can go back up into the middle and take anything here in the side. But what I chose to do is the third choice. I spun all the way around and I'm headed back to Cap because my concern is that 3 or 2 of these guys are going to jump on Cap and the rest are going to try to screen, and I'm going to have to come all the way back around here and potentially go reset Cap. So let's see what happens there. You can see that Swedish, IS-3, and the T-25/2 are all going that way, which is good. They're fast tanks. They should swing around there and wreck anything. And I'm deciding here whether I'm going to go middle. I don't know. I'll decide not to. I'll show you what I'm looking at as I'm driving. I'm looking right here in case any of those guys have already come around the corner, which they haven't. And I'm seeing tanks. Now I'm noticing they've got an E-25. They've killed one of our guys. Those guys are in there working it, and the Bulldog is there. So now I'm kind of committed. If I turn around now and try to go middle, it's going to take me forever. I haven't run into anybody, and I'm counting those as there's 3 of them right there, but there's still 3 missing. So where are these guys? I don't see them here. I really expected to see a couple of them right here, or maybe start to see my Cap alarm going off. But now I'm thinking, well, I guess they've all tried to come around and kill. And you can see that we're down to 3 tanks, and they've got 5. So right now I'm thinking, okay, they are swarming. They think they're going to beat us by swarming us. So I'm just going to come around here. They don't know I'm here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this Bulldog. I'm going to square up with my front armor, and then I'm going to stop. And I'm going to zoom. I'm going to wait for the reload, shoot him just as he's trying to get around behind that cover. And now I've got a choice to make here. My choice is either go right down low or climb up the hill. At first I'm thinking I'm going to go right, and then I decide to climb the hill. I wish I'd actually just gone straight up the hill because I could have come up and over a little bit faster. Show you what I'm looking at as I'm driving. Good depression on this tank, so I'm going to come right over. Fortunately, the Grimby did not go over the edge because it would have been harder for me to get to him. He fired. He's got the long gun on that. I end up killing him because I reload much faster. I'm going to go ahead and decide to ignore the 3001. I'm trying to preserve. I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm trying to preserve the IS-3 by coming down here and killing this STA. And that 3001 makes a bad mistake just sitting there. That probably cost his team the game. I haven't noticed that till now, but he took a long time to come down. Had he come down, he'd have been peppering me already. I'll go ahead and kill this guy. And now I'll show you what I'm doing. I get into a little bit of a trouble here with auto aim, thinking I can just drive in third person. And then I fix it, thinking, oh geez, now I'm back to manual aim, auto aim. It kind of gets screwed up right here. Takes me a while to kill this guy. He's doing a nice job working himself around those tanks, trying to avoid getting killed by me. Okay, auto aim here, and I messed that up. Just come around, hit him one more time, and then we're just about done. All right, and there you go. So had I come up the middle like I talked about at the initial part, that's hindsight. That would have worked a lot better for us. I'd have been in there and we'd have been able to take those guys on a lot better. It took me a long time to get around, but as of the time I made that decision, I was still concerned that they were going to cap. So I think overall it was the best decision at the time it was made. With hindsight, I would have really liked to have come up the middle because I could have helped clear this thing out a lot faster. And that's it for this episode of Watt Corner with Guido.